So I want to talk about one more aspect of NLP. Somebody came to me recently and she said, "Hey, have you heard about internal family systems?" And I said, "Well, and I did a quick Google search, looked at a couple diagrams, and I said, well, I haven't, but here's my understanding of them." And I explained it, and she said, "Oh my gosh, yeah, you get it." That's only possible because NLP, in a way, is a meta-modality. So much will be demystified when you have NLP training, whether it's a way somebody structures content or an entire, like you could be trained in an entire field of transformational work and you go, oh yeah, it's this one piece. One of my mentors used to joke that every weekend of NLP training is like getting the cliff notes on uh, a dissertation, a doctoral thesis. And it really is true. Like some people do their doctoral thesis on, like, for instance, eye pattern movements. If you just look up NLP eye pattern movements, people have actually done doctoral theses around that. And that's, one aspect of one weekend of training. So, in wanting to explain some of the, the meta modality aspect of it, um, I looked at internal family systems and went, yeah, it's internal parts work. Internal parts work originally modeled from Virginia Satir, really the founder of the field of family therapy in the 70s. Incredible results in a very short period of time. Now, you can use parts work both internally, like you have internal parts, conflicting parts. These parts are usually born of a significant emotional event. They're there to protect you in some way at a very young age, and they slow the flow of information across your neural network. One of the ways that we notice parts is they are acting out of alignment. Why do New Year's resolutions not work? Why do you declare you're going to do a thing at any point and then you're doing another thing? Or say you want to stop a thing, but you keep doing that thing. We would relate to that with parts work. And there's an entire book called Core Transformation that details a process that I teach in this training coming up in May. But there's so many applications of parts work. If you're creative enough, if a part's presenting a symptom physiologically around some health issue, you can get in contact with that part, ask it what its positive intention is, because we assume always that a part has a positive intention. We chain it up all the way to some core state, or we negotiate with it and find out what it needs you to do to get back into alignment. Those kinds of things. I've used core transformation or parts theory and parts work in general to reduce, pain after surgery for somebody, or crippling menstrual cramps, or migraine headaches, things like that. But you can also do it around behaviors, addictions, or acting out in some way that you don't feel is in alignment with who you want to be. And all these parts, of course, have been splintered off at a younger age. And I have it that, like, one of the ways that we can relate to sort of our life journey, our evolutionary path, if you will, is to become a more integrated being, to integrate those fractured parts of ourselves. This has applications in shadow work. It's the disidentified or disowned part of yourself that you want to deny or suppress. We get into relationship with it. We ask it what its positive purpose is, and we have a conversation with it in a specific and structured way. So it's just one aspect, so if internal family systems, totally. I can explain that to you in an hour and a half or 2 hours and give you ways to work with it that transcend the way they've labeled it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's fantastic. It makes it more approachable to people. But if you're interested in the meta modality, the one that transcends that, but also demystifies all of it, whether it's internal family systems, or whether it's the law of attraction, or whether it's, there's so many things that we could go into. But parts work is such an integral role, has such an integral role in the training that's coming up in May. I thought I would speak to you about that specifically. Message me if you're curious. It's a 7-month-long training. It will supercharge your coaching practice and radically accelerate not only your own personal evolution, because you will, of course, be incredibly developed and evolved and healed and cleared out during the process yourself because of the way the training is structured. But it will also help you produce incredible results with your clients. You get to address far more interesting, far deeper, or far more inspiring stuff with them. All right, you know how to reach me.